Okay. Still start in 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
3 minutes. At 7:05, we'll start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're now at 15 board members.
Okay. Now, Christina, do you recognize their phone numbers or you just recognize them? How's that?
I can see names for the people who are using like the app.
All right.
But yeah, so far we only have 4 people calling in with phones. But no, I don't recognize any of those numbers offhand.
Well, I guess the first things first is that for those of you who have called in, he asked you before the meeting to tell us what the phone number that you were going to call in from so that we would know who you are. As a result of not doing that, you know that there are 4 people, at least on phone lines, who we don't know who they are. So,
Well, you know, Lou, they may be members. It may not necessarily be board members. It could be just members of the public as well.
yes. But if they are, I just want them to know we don't know who.
Yeah, and only the board members were asked to provide the phone numbers.
Right.
Hello,
We're
Mr.
at
Walker.
19.
Hello, Mr. Smith. How you doing? I see you.
How are you? Thank you, Mr. Walker. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
See you both, or at least I see your names.
Hello, everybody. Good
Hi.
evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Walker. How are you?
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi,
Sandra,
Chris.
how are you?
Hi, Sandra. How are
Hi,
you?
good. Hi, Joe. How's everybody doing? Hi, Alex.
Good. It's we're as good as can be expected, right?
I know. We're still here.
Yeah.
I mean like we're still here doing this, not virtually. That's what I meant. Like we're still doing this virtually.
we got you. We are still here. The thing is, we can laugh about it, right? So that's what matters.
Yeah, well,
We
definitely.
officially have a quorum.
Yeah. We
Hi,
got you covered.
Alton.
We have 25 board members online.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Proceed then.
Hi, guys.
Meeting to order. And After that, I will hope you enjoyed your summer. And here we are, it's September. And we have the next few months are going to be a little interesting because it doesn't look like we'll be able to meet in person. So therefore, we will still have our board elections as we are supposed to. It appears that I will have to put together a bylaws committee to temporarily suspend parts of our bylaws that we cannot function. One of those specifics are that the night of the election, you are supposed to be able to nominate people from the floor. Obviously, we're not able to do that as we normally do. So that is one of the suspensions that'll have to be done. The other suspension will be the nominating committee. The chair, myself, gets to pick 2 people, and 3 people are, once again, supposed to come from the floor. Again, we cannot do that. So what I'm going to ask everybody who is here tonight or who is in contact with other board members, if you are interested in being on the nominating committee, submit your name to the board office as being interested in being on the nominating committee. Only 3 people out of the whole board can make it. So what we're going to do is, once we get all the names together of people who are interested, we're going to put your names in a hat very simply and pull them out, because there really is no other way to do it. We can't vote on it, and it needs to be somewhat random, and it will be. The 2 people I picked don't have to be random. Of course, I'm going to inform them who they are, and that's fine. I'll speak with them directly. And that's it. And I'll say this, more than likely, one of those 2 people will be me, because I will not be running for any office in this upcoming election. I will make sure that my name is not in. So moving on from there, any board members, well, I guess I should finish what I need to read here. I got information I need to read. Hold on, please. Let's see, I guess I gotta close this screen. Screen. I'm just going to pull forward. To pull forward. You may not see all of me, but that's okay. I just.
Yep. Lou, I sent you something. I sent you something from Neighborhood Housing Service. You received that?
Yes, Neighborhood Housing Services of Queens. Yes,
Perfect.
that's
Thank you.
what I'm getting ready to read. From David?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Dear Community Board 4, I hope this email finds you well. Our team has prepared the following statement for announcement tonight at the Community Board 4 meeting. Good evening, neighbors. We are Neighborhood Housing Services of Queens, or also known as NHSQ. And we are happy to share with you some of our programs and initiatives. Currently, we continue our partnership with the LaGuardia Airport for job assistance. If you or anyone is looking for a job and is considering working at LaGuardia Airport, please email your resume to our outreach specialist, David Bagara, and they give his email, dbagara@nhsofqueens.org. And anybody interested can call the office. They'll give you the information. We are also full steam ahead with our first time home buying program. Rental assistance, home assistance, and capability. If you are interested in any of those programs, check our website at www.nhsofqueens, all written out fully, queens.org, and book an appointment or register for one of our webinar services. Thank you very much for all you do, and let's continue moving forward together. That's David Bagara. Okay, so I have read that.
Thank you, Lou.
If I can just jump on for a second, board members, please make sure to keep yourselves muted until we get to the part where we're going to call your names, because a few people keep unmuting yourselves. Please keep your mics muted until we get to that part of the meeting.
Okay, so board members, I've explained how the election process is going to work, and I'm going to explain it just a little bit further, getting into it. The power away from the board in terms of who gets elected or doesn't. What we will do is, after the nominating committee is selected, the nominating committee's, if you want to call it authority, is going to be changed somewhat, because any board member who would like to run for any specific office can call the CB4 number, the office number, and request that their name be put in. And what is going to happen is, when you receive the ballot for the election, all the names of people, however many decide they want to run, are going to be on that ballot. It will be up to you board members to then pick one for each office of who you want. So no one is going to be told they can't run, except those new members who can't run because they haven't been on the board for at least 1 year. So they cannot run for any office. And that's in our bylaws. But anyone else who would like to run for any specific office can do so and should do so. So that the only offices where we're going to get, I guess it's 3 or 4 people, are the at-large directors. Whoever the top 4 or 3 vote getters are in those categories will be the people who will be then elected to being at-large board members on the executive board. So that's how that's going to work. Everyone will have a chance to enter their name. And I mean, they have to enter their name. This is the only big difference too. No one can nominate you and then you say, well, I really can't do it. Obviously, if you can't do it, you won't put your name in. It's very simple, okay? If you're interested, you will put your name in and your name will appear on the ballot. Now, regarding the ballots, while I have no problem with the U.S. mail, since most of us are electronic, you will receive your ballot to your email. You're requested to decide who you want and send it back to the board office. They will tabulate the results. The night that we would have in November, when we meet, you will know what the tabulation is. And we will keep those tabulations in printed form as well, so that if anybody has any second guessing about who won or didn't win, it will be a document that will have backup and proof as to how many votes each person got from who. Now, I know normally voting is kind of a secret thing where you usually check off a name and you just hand it to the person going around the room and collect your ballot so nobody knows who you voted for. Well, I'm sorry, that can't be done this time. we can't have a mystery vote as much as we would like to. As I said, it's a very open process anyway, so there shouldn't be a problem. You vote for who you want to vote for. And with that, I will turn the meeting over. I think I went over everything I needed to, Christian.
Lou, no, you should really quickly, if you can, just go over committee assignments for the new members, please.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank
you. Members, having received our bylaws, and hopefully you had time to read through it, we need you to tell us your first, second, and third picks for committees. Once you have done that, we'll look it over and see where there is space, and I will assign you to a committee. Obviously, the committees are not meeting as they did before because they can't right now, so that I don't know when your next meeting will be, but you will be informed as to when that will be. Okay, and with that, Christian, I guess I can turn it over to you.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. You know what? To piggyback off of Lou, well, you know what? I'll touch on that later. So first off, I just want to welcome all the board members, guys. Welcome aboard. This is a little bit not conducive of how we operate regularly, but yeah, we'll get there. You'll meet us all in person some very soon. We can get pretty rowdy and pretty fun. So I'm going to touch on a couple of items. It's been, for what it's worth, I guess, a busy summer despite COVID and whatnot, but I'll touch on a couple of things. The first one is, of course, that as we are around every time, this time of year every year, we are in budget season. Budget season basically means that this is the time where all the Queens district managers get together and we meet with each individual agency. We'll meet with NYPD, FDNY, Department for the Aging, ask them some pretty pressing questions regarding their funding levels, their staffing, and then use that in turn to create our needs statement. And those sessions are taking place right now. Once the sessions are over, we have all that data, I will circle back with the board members and then we can work on the needs statement for FY22. And that's happening as we speak. It's something we've been working on with the district managers all summer. One more item that I want to touch on. You know what? I'll just go all over the place during the summer months, and one thing that the community board has been doing for a couple of years, and I put it that way, is ever since we've got discretionary money from the city council, we've always helped the precinct whenever we could by providing them with some paint or to cover up graffiti within the area. As many of you will know, every time new paint goes up over existing graffiti, all we're doing is creating a canvas for another group to come and put it over it, and we just keep on going around in circles. And of course, as funding starts to cut back, we have less and less paint to cover up any murals. So I got together with some of our committee members, some of our board members, the executive committee, some key members of the whole thing, and we thought it'd be a nice idea if we create some kind of a graffiti replacement program, so to speak. If in fact we as a board have been giving paint whenever we could to cover graffiti in locations and it's going to waste because all we're doing is creating a canvas, maybe we have the possibility of putting a canvas in its place. And so a mural rather in its place. So what we're going to try to do is, and we're already pretty much 99% of the way. The idea is to put up 2 murals in 2 different places. One of them is going to be in the Elmhurst area because we do cover both districts. I've been working pretty hard with both sides. One is going to be in the Elmhurst area. One is going to be in the Corona area. I've already gone through the walkthrough with the precinct. We have permission from several businesses. As a matter of fact, every business and location that we reached out to is fully on board with the idea. They're getting tired of the gang graffiti. They want to be more permanent, and we're going to work with them to do it. Now, the way this is going to work, and again, it's across, as we know, it is board-wide, so we're doing both Corona and Elmhurst somewhat simultaneously for what it's worth, in that we're going to hold an open casting call. And this open casting call is going to go to pretty much everybody in the public, and what we're going to do is we discuss it with this Parks Committee, and there are some very, very small parameters that we really are just trying to hit with the murals in particular. They should both say the name of the town, either Elmhurst or Corona. And for Elmhurst and Corona, we just want the year it was established. Or Elmhurst established 1626, et cetera, et cetera. And those are probably going to be the only contest rules that we're going to follow. The way to work is all the entries will come to us. It will go to the Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee. They will nominate their top 3 choices based on what we had requested. And then it goes to the full public for a full vote, and the piece that gets the most vote is the one that actually going to get painted by the artist. So now where we come into play is, as many of you know, is something I should announce before I even begin this, is that earlier in the year, as he has always done, our council member has been very gracious to provide us with some discretionary funding for us to be able to do community events. This year we were gracious, Councilman Moyer was gracious to give us $20,000 to do any form of community events that includes the processing of ULIP applications. Additionally, we got $5,000 from Danny also for community events, youth fairs, youth-related programming. So during this mural process, we reached out to both parties. We reached out to Councilman Moyer's office, we reached out to Danny Drone's office, and I'm glad to report that we have green lights for the most part on both events. The Elmhurst plan has found the full green light. We have the ability to use discretionary funding given by Councilman Drum, and Assemblywoman Cruz has also been very gracious that she's willing to even pay for part of the project as well to get the supplies up and running. So we are good to go with Elmhurst. As for Corona, we have a meeting set up with the council member in a couple of weeks. I did reach out to both elected officials on all sides so we can get everybody involved. We're still waiting on Corona, but my hope is that it's actually going to work out really well soon. We're going to work with Councilman Moyer and get this forward. While I'm there, I will discuss one more thing, and I'll just blaze through this really quickly. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm an artist by trade. I've done animation and paintings and fine arts and all that stuff, and art's a really big thing for me. Earlier last year, I got involved with a local group, not local, with a group called Artists Making Changes. What they do is that what they really specialize in, they do therapeutic art camps for underserved countries. They've been operating on an international level for some time now, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, that type of stuff. And I really like what they did on an international level. And I was wondering what the chances are of us being able to bring some therapeutic art camps to CB4 using some of our funding, or maybe bring it to the attention of the local community and maybe get some therapeutic art camps set up. I won't go into too much detail on it, but that's something that we are somewhat working on. Lots of meetings going on, a lot of discussions, but hopefully sometime in the future we can collaborate with this group and create some art neighborhoods specifically during COVID. Two more things, and I will leave it with this so we can move on for the rest of the agenda. The census, we already know that the census is here. We're at the end over here, and as you guys could imagine, as has always been the case, Corona and Elmhurst are grossly undercounted, with Corona taking even higher numbers of low counts than Elmhurst. As such, you guys know that we immediately created a census committee, who is chaired by Kristen Gonzalez, who may speak just a little bit later on. But since then, I've been sticking my nose everywhere I possibly can to get us involved with as many census-involved events. And I'm glad to report about two of them in particular, none of which I have official flyers for just yet, but something I will let you guys know that for not just for what I'm saying now, but every insert, every email, everything that Lou read earlier and discussed tonight, board members will receive all of that. So bear with us, even though it seems we're going through really fast, everything will be sent to you and everything we'll be saying is going to be sent to you. So with that, I will send you information on both census events. One of them is with a group that was brought to my attention called MIRA USA, that's MIRA USA, and they're going to be doing a census panel, a virtual census panel, to which I'll be speaking on what the census means to our community, what it means to be undercounted, how it could affect our services, our schools, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be a panelist to this, and I will send that information for you guys as soon as I get it so that you can share it, and let's get more people to join this. Right now, we are set for September 18th at 6 p.m. It's a Friday, I believe. And again, once I have the information, I'll send it your way. The second event is a little further out, and that's on September 27th, and that is with the John Wang, the Queen's Night Market, the Hall of Science, the Queen's Botanical Garden, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. John did send me a statement with a better understanding of what is expected of us, but it's going to be one really final census kickoff event. This is the end of the census. Let's get everybody out and try to get everybody to virtually understand what exactly the census is all about. And I think it may be even an in-person event. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And that's it, guys. As Lou said to the new board members, welcome aboard. You're in for a good time with us. And yeah, just please reach out to the board office if you have any questions on what the committees are, what is required of you. Maybe you're looking for a very active committee. Maybe you're looking for a less active committee. Maybe Tuesdays don't work for you. The office can help you to feel through that. So if you have any questions regarding a specific committee, please reach out to me, Christina, anybody at the office. You have our emails. And to be clear, everybody, the phone number for the office is now 718-760-3142, not 3141. And that's it, Lou. I'll just speak throughout the night if anything else comes up. Thank you.
Mike, there is one other thing. We have been asked to respond to agency that's involved in the 5G pole top design.
Hmm.
The problem is they want an answer by September 25th. And I believe, Christian, we just got the information today.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check, Lou, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's possible, yes. I have it right in front of me.
Okay, I think it came in today.
Yep, check.
In any case, they want us to respond in a very short time because obviously we'd have to almost respond by this board meeting.
It came yesterday, by the way. It came yesterday, yes.
Yesterday, which is wonderful on Labor Day, and they want us to whatever. Yes. Well, about so okay. They want us to respond to this, and all I'll say is that the design for these 5G pole tops are very inconspicuous. You won't even know they're there actually, and you won't even realize they've been added because they blend in with the light pole. They're not big and noticeable. They're very unnoticeable. And I don't know, by a response of board members tonight, as we call your name and you speak, I'd like to know, do you think we can send them a recommendation tonight saying, yeah, go ahead with it, or we'll send them nothing, and guess what? They'll probably go ahead with it anyway. So you have your choice. Because we don't have any choices as far as telling them, no, you can't do that, you got to do this. We've been shown the design, and it's not choices A, B, C, and D. It's this is what we plan to do. Do you support it or not? Okay, so, and with that, I will go to my other email. Let me scroll back. This is the open board member session, Christian, or do I start the politicians?
Ooh, no, I believe you have a board member session first. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought was next.
Sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me.
I can get it up again, but I'm almost sure. Well, we're going to start with the board members. Let me just get to my board member list, current list, and from the other one. Oh, I don't like the way this is. Okay. Choice. Okay, I have the board member list in front of me. I'll call your name, and then if you are around, know you're here, we'll let you speak. Lucy Cezo Scully.
Hey,
Hello.
Lucy.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm all right. Hanging in there.
All right. Hope everyone had a nice long weekend. Brought to you by unions.
So,
I couldn't really hear what the thing was about because it kept going in and out. So I'm not really sure. I heard something about they have a design up. We either want it or we don't, but I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a 5G light pole design for New York City, and New York City has a lot of different types of light poles. But really,
Okay.
what they do is put the 5G booster on the top of these poles, and the poles won't be any higher than they currently are. This is going to like wrap around the top of the pole. As I said, it's not very noticeable. One 25th of September, and unfortunately, we really usually don't meet again. So, kind of a problem.
Okay. Well, they're going to do it anyway. So there's really no, I mean, I think it's a good idea as long as, I mean, there's the questions I would have is, safety issues. Is it going to let out, what's the radiation going to be, if any, minimal, not minimal? So I have a lot of questions. I would rather just abstain than saying yes or no. I'm sure we're not, like you said, it's not going to maybe make much of a difference one way or the other. But I think there's a lot of questions I would have.
Yeah, but you know, and Luke, if I can be very clear, like the wording over here is pretty clear that it does say it's not necessarily looking for a board vote, but it does say as part of the DOT, that the PDC approved DOT to move forward with the design with certain conditions. As part of the approval, it asked all community boards sent to DOT acknowledgement that materials were received and reviewed, and we had a comment. I wouldn't necessarily call it a vote, Luke.
Forget any votes or any comments about it.
Okay.
We'll
So
send it
I
out.
acknowledge that I received it. Is that good?
You haven't received it yet, though. We're gonna.
Well,
Yeah,
I heard
we'll
about
send
it.
it to
I
you, yeah.
acknowledge that I heard about it. Is that good?
All right, we'll send it. We'll send it.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll send it out. Thank you.
Great. I'm done.
Okay. Charo Chung Chin.
Yes, here I am. Good evening, everyone. All attendees.
Hello, good, Mr. Chairman. Good evening.
Yeah, just say hello to everyone. I'm
Okay, well, hello.
Good, good, good. I want to say something about how the situation now, the gun violence, how do we resolve that? I heard that many things hasn't been resolved yet. Only like how many? 30% at least, or more than 30%. I forgot. Many cases have been, yes, they couldn't find the shooter, the assassins, the criminals. They couldn't find it so far. So that's where my concern is.
You mean the gun violence throughout the city of New York now?
Yeah, New York. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for your concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yi Chin. Is Yi Chin on the line?
Is that
No,
Andy?
yeah,
No?
that's Andy. I don't see him on anymore.
Yeah, he was on earlier, but okay. Moving on, Lou.
Okay. David Chung.
Hello, fellow board members. Glad to be back. Wishing all of you guys a healthy and happy start to the new school year. Yeah, nothing else to say. Glad to be back, guys.
Thanks, David.
Okay, thank you. By the way, I guess we're taking attendance too by calling these names. We should be, hopefully someone is taking the attendance. I can't do
Well,
that.
the list is saved to the app. We may not be, but we can see everybody here. So go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is we're going through this list. We should acknowledge who's spoken. That's one way of doing it.
Well, we're taping this, so
Okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Linda Carra.
Yeah, Linda is here. Give us a second, Lou. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Linda, you're good to go. We hear you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Just I don't have anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Thank you. Lorena Diaz.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lorena.
Hi, how's everybody? Sorry, I just changed from my phone to the laptop.
Well, welcome aboard.
Nice to be here. Hope everybody's having a good summer.
Lou?
Yes. Anything
That's it,
would you
yeah.
like to say?
No, nothing as of yet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Michelle Dunstan.
She's here. Hold on, Lou.
Good evening, everybody.
Michelle, you're breaking up a tiny bit.
They gave us the respect to ask. I'm finished.
Okay. All right, thank you.
and everyone be safe.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Michelle.
Claudia Espinal.
Yep, she's here. Give us a second, Lou.
I'm here.
Ari,
Hey, what's up, guys?
Poppin', how are you?
Not much. Continue on now.
No? Okay.
Bye, guys. I mean, I'll be on. I'm just muting myself.
We
All
got
right.
you.
Bye.
Marlena Giampino.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. Just talking about what Lou said about these 5G things that they want to install. It would be nice if they gave us more information, especially about safety. I don't think they are going to, but it would be nice to have all that on record that we do want more information. So this way they kind of know that people are wondering, and it's good to have that on record. I also just briefly want to talk about, all of you know I'm part of Elmhurst History and Cemeteries Preservation Society. So we are trying to landmark another important structure in Elmhurst. And this is a house that is part of the, it was a center of Polish American culture in America after World War II. And it's about two World War II heroes, Polish husband and wife. It's called the Yanta Plushinska House. Is from Alexander and Valentina Yanta Plushinska. And we're currently having a landmark campaign, of support. So normally we would do a vote. I would talk about the historical significance, and the board would vote if they recommend writing a letter in support of landmarking or not. But we can't do a vote right now. So I'm going to just send the information over. And then, I guess Lou and Christian can talk about how you guys want to proceed with something like that.
Yeah, Marilyn, I spoke to Lou about it earlier, and we may go the route of just asking the board members if they have any oppositions, questions, comments, to please reach out to the board office. And if the majority is probably okay, we may just be able to proceed with a letter of support, but we're still kind of working on it.
Okay.
But we did discuss it offline before you.
Yeah, so I can provide all information and just let me know how you guys want to proceed with that. And
Please
that's
do.
all
Thank you.
I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kristen Gonzalez.
So, is she there?
Hi.
No? Yes, no?
Yeah, I'm having
Yes.
technical difficulties on my phone, but just wanted to say hi. I hope you're all well. And I want to echo what Marilena said regarding 5G. I think the onus should be on them to prove it's safe. If not, we should be voting against. And also definitely let Christian and I know if you want to get involved with census work. All right, I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Kristen.
Vincent Lorcella.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first and foremost, I had a house fire, and I want to extend my thanks to Christian and Margaret and a lot of people from the community board that came through and really helped our family out. From the bottom of our heart, the Lacello family, we thank you guys very much. It really shows the spirit of the community and how we come together. On a second note, this one's gonna officials. It's embarrassing driving through Flushing Meadow Park with the US Open, and the amount of garbage that's being dumped all over the place. This year, it seems like because there's no spectators, our park is just being disregarded. I have tons of pictures that I've been told to take down. Anybody's more than willing to walk through that park and see the amount of garbage dumped by vendors, by people. It's appalling. It goes under all the Long Island railroads. It's just, the dumping is really out of control. We really need to get a stop to it. And I'm a community person that's lived here for 40 years. I've never seen so much dumping in this neighborhood. And I think it's a topic and we should all come together against it.
Vinny, I will echo that. I myself, I took a ride to that park today and I was mortified. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
There's garbage everywhere. I understand Labor Day weekend, that's fine. A lot of the bags, the stuff was put in bags. So, but I will say this much, I have to advocate for that part, and that they are grossly understaffed, but they've always been understaffed. We've always known that. So, it's enough is enough. But
Christian,
I'm with
I
you on
showed
that.
you the pictures yesterday.
I
It's an
saw them yesterday.
ongoing.
I saw them. I was busy. I was quicker dodging garbage than I was dodging pedestrians today while I was in the park. So I'm with
But
you. So,
again, on behalf of the Lachella family, thank you guys very much for everything that you're doing. God bless each and every one of you on this board. You guys are the best community board, and from the bottom of the Lachella family, if I could do anything for you guys, I always will. God bless.
appreciate that, Vinny. Much love to you, brother. Thank you.
Peace and love.
Thank you. With regard to Flushing Meadow Park, you are correct. I go there fairly often, and I am surprised to see that I saw a couple of couches in the park where people left the couches there. I said, you got to be kidding. And they're not kidding. It is disgusting what's going on there. But I mean, there's no way the park can't know about it. You can't avoid seeing what's obviously in front of your eyes. So I don't know what the problem is there. Only they can answer.
And I'm sure right now Gregory's head must be exploding because he wants to speak so hardly. But board members, this is why we really urge you to join any meetings with regards to the Flushing Meadows Alliance. Gregory is on that committee, and we definitely push it. And this might give us a good chance. I myself missed the last one, so my apologies on that one. But the Flushing Meadows Alliance meetings are very, 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 very important. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Gregory will speak to that there. Go ahead, Lou. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. James Lisa.
No, sir.
Is he here?
No, sir. Moving on. Next.
Okay. Salvatore Lombardo.
No.
Okay. Carol Mahowski.
Mahowski.
She here?
She should be here. She was here earlier. Just give us a second.
Yeah, I unmuted her. Carol?
Oh, she must have stepped away. Yeah, she is here though, but okay, Lou, we'll catch her on the second round.
Sunil Mahat.
Yes, he is here.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Good. Welcome, Sunil.
All right. Thank you. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well and continue to stay safe. Please stay safe because still the danger is still not over yet, right? The COVID-19. As far as regarding 5G that chairman spoke about, no opinion yet because we don't have any info. One concern that I would like to put about community is I've been noticing and seeing, a lot. People are not curbing their dog, right? We can see dog poop all over the street. This is disgusting and very nasty. I think there's got to be something needs to be done as far as that thing. Besides that, I don't have anything yet for now.
Lou, do you want me to comment on that dog thing, or I can discuss it offline with him?
No, I can comment a little bit on the dog thing because I have a small dog that I walk and I carry my green bags and I pick up behind my dog. But I notice a lot of the poop that I see is from the bigger dogs. I don't think those people want to pick up behind those big dogs because big dogs leave a lot of stuff and I guess they don't want to walk with it. The other problem is once you pick it up, I found myself walking 2 and 3 blocks with it easily before I can get rid of it, which is another bit of a problem because there are no waste baskets on any corners. So, once you do pick it up, how long are you supposed to walk with it then? It becomes a problem. But go ahead, Christian. You can.
So look, I mean, and again, because I feel like we're somewhat behind schedule, and I will speak fast, unfortunately for you guys, because I already do that. But here, to add to it, so Sunil, really quickly, the issue with the Curb Your Dog is that very simply, the city stopped making those signs. They just don't exist anymore. Remember, we used to see it back in the day, and again, maybe I'm incorrect, unless this has changed since the last time we checked it, which is just a year or two back. Those signs are no longer in production. It is up to you or us as property owners and business owners to find those signs, make our own, but they're no longer made by the city of New York because there was no actual enforcement taking place. The way it is being enforced is the following. If you see a dog, the way they see it is that the homeowners regularly take out the dogs around the same time every night. If you know a dog owner who is doing it, you are allowed to call 311. 311 has a unit that specifically comes out and they're claiming will camp itself right there, and it will wait for this person with the dog and give that person a summons. That seems to be the only form of enforcement that we have out there. It can't be done as it's happening. It has to be a regular thing for them to be caught in the act. As far as the creation of the signs, they just don't exist anymore. That's something you have to just go to a regular sign maker, put it on your property. Please don't poop on my property, or else whatever. But there is no enforcement for it. So I hope that clarified a little bit. That's not to say we're giving up, but we've been doing this for some time. Thanks, Lou.
Yes, it did clarify. So thank you. Yeah, but nothing for right now. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Patricia Martin.
She is here. Give us a second. Pat, you are unmuted. No, Lulu, she must have stepped away. Moving on. Next.
Sylvia Martin.
Sylvia, I did not see. No, Sylvia's not in this meeting.
Matthew McEnroy.
Matt McElroy is here. Matt.
Where's my thing? There's my thing.
You're good to go. We hear. We can only see you, Matt. Hold on. You're muted. Matt, stop. You're muted. Unmute. There you go. Now you're good. There you go. Perfect. Go for it.
Okay. Just nothing. That was a lot of ado to achieve nothing. I just want to say hi to everybody. And hope everybody's doing okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Same for you.
Ravina McGowan.
Ravina is, she's remote. Matt, does she have anything that she wants to say remotely to us?
Ravina, do you have anything you want to say, Kino?
No, just hello.
She said
hello,
no,
Ravina.
no, just hello.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Edgar Moya.
No, he's not on.
No, sir.
Okay. Ruby Muhammad.
No, she's not on either.
No, Lou, neither.
Okay.
Sandra is
Sandra,
here.
you're unmuted.
Yes, so I was gonna say that I had already said what I was gonna say, but now having heard about two issues that are dear to me, one is the dog issue. Yes, I share that frustration. I actually find myself picking up other dog poops, but Lou, you're right. I won't pick up the big one dog poops. I'll only pick up the little one. But I did see in Bayside, and I don't know if this is something that we can do as a community. I know Bayside is Bayside, and maybe Elmhurst is Elmhurst, Corona, Jackson Heights, but they actually, and it might be just from the condo areas that they do that. Maybe it's a private thing. They have their little poles with baggies available and a little garbage for the poop.
Yep, we know.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. We have enough dogs in our communities.
Well, I will tell you this: we did put it into our capital expense last year, or maybe the year before that, and it was shot down because there was no way. The city has no such programs. Like you said, it is done by a local community group. I actually found the designs for those boxes. What I did find, and Gregory, I forgot where we left off on this. The Parks Department does have little kiosks, little baggies that they can put in certain places that certain parks, and if we want it at those parks, we can request it. But it won't mean people clean up after the dogs, but at least provide them with the bag. So we have the possibility of requesting those. But,
okay.
The kiosks, but they do exist out there, but it was shot down because, again, the city won't maintain that. Dog owners are kind of responsible for their own. So the city won't, you get what I'm saying? So, but we did ask for it. We did not get it as far as capital, but we are told that we can get individual if we want to maintain it for like our own, like combo blocks, that type of stuff. But it is private, yes.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe some day down the line. So the other thing that I wanted to raise that it was raised with the garbage in the park. I mean, we don't even have to go in the park. I mean, there's garbage all over our community. And where I see that it's really a worse situation is that strip right by the Long Island, I think it's the Long Island Railroad, right? The Long Island Railroad from where 43rd Avenue ends going towards Broadway on Whitney. So we have two problems there. One is dumping of garbage because I walk my dog in that area and I see it there all the time. And the other one is the homelessness. like a huge, I've seen it increase, a huge homeless population,
Yes.
who, by the way, are not practicing any of the CDC guidelines. That's the third issue. And that's all I have to say. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe as a board, we can go and hit that community, you know, that area. I don't know if we're gonna have a cleanup soon or something.
Well, Sandra, oddly enough, ironically, the mural we discussed is going up that corner. Believe it or not, the big mural is gonna be right over there. So granted, it's something, and maybe I'm wrong, but I know unfortunately Andy's not here, but I spoke to the precinct last week, and the precinct told me that they actually did a cleanup along that block just last week with the local community, and I wasn't aware of it. I think it was just something private that they did. But it is getting its love. You know what I mean? That's a hot corner. But that is exactly where we're going to be putting our mural. That big 25-foot wall over there.
That is awesome. You know, the problem with that is that I have seen it clean, but it's just, it gets filthy right away too quickly. Like it doesn't last too long. Stay safe, everybody. I love you all. Stay safe.
Thank you. Garup Singh Narula.
He is here.
Hello.
Good. Yes, we hear you.
First of all, I want to say everybody, welcome to everyone. And everybody has to take care of COVID-19 and we should keep a distance. I have a question. This one is only just for the homeless people in this area. We sometimes we discuss it. Is a public safety is a meeting, and this is a big problem in this area. And this other question is with G5. I want to get the information. What kind of information you have is possible? If you can send me, at least I can study cover the G5. And I also agree with this Sandra. She said, it's the people, they have to take care of the dog and everything. It's this people's responsibility. In a lot of areas, some people they don't take care of, and it is everybody has a dog owner has responsibility to keep a bag, and he should put a proper place. So then we should not make a more litter in our area. That's not a somebody area, in our area. And I want to wish everybody to keep healthy, stay healthy. And on September 14, I'm getting a knee replacement surgery. Maybe I'm not able to make it. Maybe next time is a meeting. So, but I wish again everybody to for the best of luck. Okay.
Thank you, Garup.
Thank you, Garup.
I wish you surgery. Georgina Oliver.
I don't think she's here. No, Lou, moving on.
No. Alexandra Owens, and I see her and I know she's there. So.
I can't hide. I really don't have much to say just yet. I'll be talking later on in the evening, but just wishing everybody a happy return to the community board and hoping we get to meet in person someday again.
Thank you. Alexa Ponce.
No, she is not here.
Yukinda Rock.
No, she's not here.
Ashley Reed.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to say hello. Hope everyone enjoyed the summer recess and we're ready to get back into the fall activities. I just want to say welcome to all the new board members. Glad to have you here. And I'm just happy to see everyone.
Oscar Rio.
Yeah, hold on. Oscar's here. Oscar is here. Oscar, you're good to go.
Okay, Christian, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We all hear you.
Yes. Hi. Okay, guys. How's it going? I hope everybody's staying safe. Just a few things. I want to piggyback what Sandra said. We do have a issue on Broadway when it comes to homeless. So I'm hoping we as a community could do something about it. And also I want to add that I've been walking the streets of Broadway every day. I always see disposable face masks on the floor and also gloves. So I mean, my tip is if you're gonna trash the face mask, put it in the garbage bags. Don't just put it outside in the streets. Okay, and that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. No, you bring up a very good point. It's been an ongoing problem since the pandemic started. And one of the problems is that there are not enough trash baskets around. So people just decide, I'm turning the street into the trash basket, which is not the thing they should be doing, but that is what they are doing. Okay,
Correct. They should.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm correct. I mean, they should at least. I mean, if they don't see a garbage can, at least hold on to it. And when you see a garbage can, then you could put then you could put it in the can. But you're right. It's an issue. Thank
It's
you.
been a user for a while. The city has been avoiding it by saying they remove the trash basket because they're being overfilled with other garbage other than the garbage that you're walking by. And they think the problem to solve it was to remove it. A big problem goes along. If you have nowhere to throw this garbage, it's going to end up the floor is the street, and it just goes from one to the next. So no way.
Absolutely right. You're right, Lou.
Thank you, Oscar.
All right.
Neil Roman.
No, he's not on.
Christian Romero.
Yeah, he is here.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
I
don't have much to say. Just welcome back, everybody. It's good to see everybody's faces. I didn't know I was going to miss seeing everybody as much as I do, but it's good to see everybody. That's it for me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Fernando Ruiz.
No, he's not.
Oh, sir.
Clara Salas.
He is
Thank you for meeting me. I just want to say, I'm looking forward to a year and also welcome the new. Also, I want to share with you what I share with Lucy Solera in the safety committee. I've never seen this community as dirty as it is now. The garbage is incredible, but that is also the consequence of the sanitation department. They cut the cap to 3 days a week. And also the graffiti is really, really terrible. And as you mentioned, Christian, no matter how much you paint, they go return and they keep on putting on the graffiti back on the walls. So I hope we can do something as a community board to alleviate the problem of the graffiti, the garbage, and also the homelessness. There's a group of men that gather underneath the Whitney Avenue and Broadway underpass of the train. There are about 15 of them, and they play dominoes or punches or whatever, and they drink beer in there. And I don't know, if they're not working, I don't know where they get the money for the beer, but when I pass by sometimes when I have to go up to the hospital, almost hospital, and I walk up there, I pass by and I see them. And one or two of them, they are sleeping on the sidewalk also. So it's really the problem of the homelessness is really terrible here. And I wish we can do something. I wish we can find a program in the city to help us. Breaking Ground has been helping a lot, but it's only one agency. Maybe we can find other agencies to help us. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. Regarding the homeless situation, I'm going to say this. One of the things that need to be done is probably New York State needs to change the law that anybody here suddenly requires us to shelter them immediately upon their arrival. I don't think that should be done. I think you should have to be here for some period of time. And I don't know what that is, if that should be 6 months or a year or whatever it should be. But I don't think you can just tell people, well, just drop in and we'll kind of take care of you, because we're not doing a very good job there. And then the mental institutions that were closed, and there's a whole host of reasons for all the homeless population, obviously, but it's a huge problem and it's not going anywhere. It's probably, unfortunately, getting worse again. it's rearing its ugly head right now because of the economic situation with the coronavirus. It has not helped things. Okay, Lucy, hello. Are you there?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
And I can see you too.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. All right. Much of what was said by most of the board members, we talked about at our public safety, and we came up with some ideas, and maybe we'll have some help with all that was mentioned tonight. But I do have something that I'm hoping the politicians are hearing, or if they're on tonight. We have at times when it comes to our committee where a row of businesses have the same address. And if a summons is given to them, whether it be State Liquor Authority, Department of Buildings, Fire Department, Health Department, Sanitation, and when they go up to them, they say, well, this is not my summons. It couldn't be mine. It has to be someone else. I'm asking for a law. I don't know if it's on the record. Whereas when someone shares the same address, there's a row of it at 8610 on Roosevelt and a few on Junction and Corona, some on Broadway, that they have an alphabet next to that number. And that we check on that only. A picture should be taken at the time of the summons or whatever correction should be done. So therefore we get that right name. Sometimes they change their name, sometimes they change the corporation. And this goes for row of homes as well, because if one gets behind their real estate tax, the other row of houses get the problem. So I'd like to see a law on this, whereas the police can take a picture and you document what's being said for that address that has the alphabet behind it. There's a row of people who could get into this. A lot of trouble trying to clear this. So I'm hoping tonight somebody is here to answer that question. And again, it's great to see all of you and welcome the new board members. And you'll hear my public safety committee meeting in a little while.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Okay, I have to. Did we call your name, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, Lou, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody as well. I think it's been 5 months since I've seen these faces on the screen. So really good to,
We had
yeah, really.
April, yes, May and June. So you should have.
Yeah, well, the last times I was on, I just couldn't hop on the call. So I was just by phone. So as loud as I yelled on that phone, nobody could hear me. And Christian made it painfully clear that those on the phone could not be heard. So it's really good to see you guys. It's been 5 months. I do have some fantastic news to report in terms of things that have transpired since the pandemic hit. In March, as New Life CDC was distributing food to the neighborhood because the programming closed down and we had to go to deliveries because folks were quarantined, we discovered so many homes in Elmhurst and Corona who had a lot of elementary school kids in the home without the right kind of technology. And this was very confusing to us because the DOE was offering free devices, and yet many of these homes did not have the devices. And as we dug deeper, we just saw the layers of challenges that many families faced. Language barriers, there was fear of filling out the application. There were barriers in terms of technology because emails went out announcing this. And so, like many of you, we tried to do something ourselves. And so in addition to food, we wanted to see which families needed devices for school. And it was heartbreaking. I remember this one family had 4 kids ranging from elementary school to high school. And there was just one phone for 4 kids on distance learning, one phone. And they would take shifts on this. And when we tried to contact them, it was difficult. I mean, we experienced the layers of challenge and difficulty in getting access to homes. And I realized that that family was a typical example of families falling through the cracks. It was so hard getting just 2 or 3 devices out. The fantastic news is that because of the hard work of the volunteers at New Life and also partnering with local organizations who really saw this need, 150 devices went out. 150 free laptops and tablets, never to be returned, for them to keep, went out. 150 went out. On one hand, it's a celebration. On the other, it's so sad to think that these 150 students would not have had the right kind of technology. And there were so many students that did close to nothing in the past 3 months because they didn't have the right kind of technology. And even if they had the device, they couldn't maneuver through Google Classroom. And so the great news is that, like many people on this call, we see something that is not right, and we do something about it. Just the complaints that I hear on this call right now reminds me of the kind of eyes that we have. We see the parts of the neighborhood that could be better. But I do want to remind us all that what has made us different as a board and what made us unique is that we don't leave it at a complaint. You know, we will do something about it. I see the faces on the screen. I know the things that you guys have done after seeing something that you're not happy about in the neighborhood. You know, just like the murals that Christian was talking about, we're doing something about it. I see Gregory Spock on my screen, Maria Lena on my screen, Clara Salas during a survey of the trees on the islands on Queens Boulevard. We are hardly the kind of people that leave it at a complaint. You know what? We see garbage on the park. Let me remind us, we are the ones that will do something about it. And it's the same thing. I'm familiar with the encampments, the homeless encampments that have been forming on Whitney Avenue. But let us not be the kind of people that simply complain and talk about it without getting to know the people that are there. These are our constituents. Many of us on this call could be 1 or 2 paychecks away from homelessness. Many of these folks have jobs. It's just access to housing that's really difficult, you know? And even my wife has gotten involved, volunteers have gotten involved to simply getting to know them and plugging them into simple jobs so that they can get out of that place, introducing them to programs. So I want to remind us of what has marked us the past several years. We see something and we do something about it.
Thank you. Alton Derek Smith, you're next. Unmute your mic.
Okay.
Unmute your mic.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, great. It's good to see and hear everyone and welcome new board members. Regarding 5G, I think we need to know more information about it. I don't know those who may or may not be aware, but there's some conspiracy theories regarding COVID-19 and 5G. I just want to put that out there that I have seen them. I don't believe in them, but they are out there. So I'm going to leave 5G alone, and that's my opinion of 5G, is that we need more information. Not because of the conspiracy, but I just wanted to let it be known that there is a so-called COVID-19 5G theory out there. I do have an issue. The issue is with the banking services here in the Queenswood and Liffrack area. 2 large apartment complexes. I feel that it's underserved, and Chase Bank particularly. Chase Bank, I noticed that there are lines and lines of people standing outside of Chase Bank. there on 99th Street and 57th Avenue. Any time of day you go there, there's lines of people standing out there. There's also garbage that is beginning to accumulate around Chase Bank. I'm particularly disturbed about it because of the Neighborhood Reinvestment Act. The Neighborhood Reinvestment Act was created just to prevent these things from happening. I realize that there's COVID-19 and some banks are not serviced, but when you go to Queens Boulevard, you see two Chase banks that's 1 block away from each other, and they have service. I really feel that something needs to be addressed about Chase Bank, the fact that we had Sterling Bank that left the area. Now we're down to 1 bank. And I think we need to really contact Chase and find out what their plans are to serve this huge community. So that's my major complaint at this moment in time. And that's about it. Take care.
Thank you. I have a comment to make regarding Chase Bank. What do you think would happen if they decided to leave?
Well, again, we do have a thing that went into effect, I believe was under the Obama administration. It's called the Neighborhood Reinvestment Act. They would probably lose a lot of points if they was to up and leave an underserved area, because this is considered an underserved area. They would lose a tremendous number of points if they was to leave this area.
And those points do what for them? What do those points do for Chase?
Those points,
Points are good publicity.
Right. I'm not sure, Lou. I would probably, I know that they do have, they do carry weight. Exactly how they carry weight, I'm probably gonna have to go back and revisit it. But they just wouldn't move out of the area and leave us stranded, because it would. Right. It would affect.
I think you were in the area at the time. We used to have 4 banks here. Now we're down to 1.
Right, and that's
3 ran, and I'm just thinking that, what's to stop Chase from giving up and saying, well, if we're going to be under this kind of pressure, we maybe should move on.
Well, that's why they created the Neighborhood Reinvestment Act. Oh, okay. In terms of credits that they get from the Federal Reserve, it's a huge, big thing that they get involved with. But no, they would not up and leave. And really, what that really brings attention to it is how, as an underserved community, how we're only down to just 1 bank. So that even makes it more of an issue. And I think it's an issue that we need to address. I think Chase needs to be contacted. They need to.
Wait a minute, who should they be contacted by? Is that a federal law, which means we need the federal people involved in this? It's not a local law, correct?
Right. It's a federal law.
Okay, so we need to talk about our senators. We have 2.
Yes.
Talk about the people in the House of Representatives then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have Gregory Spock.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, and we can see you now.
Wonderful. Nice to see everyone's face. Welcome to the new board members. I'll speak about the parks issues during my committee report, but really amazing to hear, Red, what you've been doing. I think the biggest thing to keep in mind, and this is my sort of personal belief, is that COVID is a human issue. So, essentially, with regard to the homelessness and all of these things, I really think, we have to do our part to, help this and solve this. I don't think this is a thing that can just, complain about it. I think, a lot of the comparisons that people are drawing with Broadway, which I'm also well aware of, can be likened to other parts of the city. I know there's a scenario with, people actually protesting homeless to be removed from hotels on the Upper West Side. And there's, you know, a group of people that got together, similar to what Red did with the, you know, the education issue, and they essentially did a sleep out, you know, in solidarity. They got to know the people. I think you can't really lump everyone into the one thing because you don't really fully know what's going on with them. So I echo the sentiment of, you know, we need to do our part in, you know, working with the organizations like Breaking Ground and other organizations that will help them, you know, if they need food, putting them in touch with the food pantries or the various elected officials that do the giveaways. If they need, you know, other things, addressing those. The two things I just want to touch on briefly that are concerning to me, as I have a child who will be school age in a few years, is an article about the SCA, the School Construction Authority. There was an article today in Queens Post talking about how that organization is basically going to hold any sort of in the pipeline school construction in Long Island City. Now, where this sort of impacts us, I think it was this past year, maybe it was the year before, we, you know, heard a presentation by them, the SCA that is, regarding a school being created, you know, on land on the park that was involved with the Hall of Science. I don't remember all the specifics, but if, you know, this precedent has been set that due to budget woes, the city is going to start cutting things like building schools in extremely overcrowded areas, which have only been, you know, further exacerbated by the coronavirus and similar pandemics. I think that really is something that we need to, you know, pay attention to and really put a pressure on that you know, entity, city entity, to address that. You know, maybe funds can be pulled from things elsewhere. You know, the thing that comes to mind is, you know, how much Governor Cuomo and the Port Authority keeps talking about the air train. Is that really something we need to be spending billions of dollars on right now when no one's even traveling? And then the second thing, briefly, that I'd like to touch on is, you know, regarding common sense, regarding mask wearing. I know numerous board members have mentioned how, you know, we are still in the pandemic. This is something that can, you know, come back in large numbers if people do not stay vigilant. You know, I'm still seeing lots of people not wearing masks properly. There was an article in the City today talking about how many people on buses and public transit are, you know, getting violent and fighting back. So we really all need to do our part in, you know, wearing a mask, social distancing, all the common sense and all the, you know, the information that's out there and heeding that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree. Dewan Tariq. Is he here?
Dewan, you're unmuted.
Go ahead, Dewan. Unmute yourself so we can hear you. Can't hear you yet, Dewan. Dewan, you're having some technical difficulty there. We hear you very small, and barely hear you. Hello? Dewan. Okay, we'll try to come back to you, I guess. We can't hear you. So we need to move on. Marcello Testa.
No, he's not here.
Isaiah Casella.
She's not here either.
Okay. Rosa Wong.
No.
Min Wing Yang.
No.
Okay, let's go back to Dewan Tariq and see if we can get him one more time.
Yeah, Lou, if I can also, in addition to Duan, Andy Chen messaged us. He was here earlier, but he wasn't able to get to his phone, but he is here. So we can just give him a quick nudge. He was one of the first people to speak, but all right. But that's it.
We can, is Dewan there or can we
Let's
get
do
him?
Andy first.
Yeah, let's do Andy first. Let's go alphabetically. Andy? Andy, you are unmuted. You there?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, good, good. Sorry about that earlier.
Okay. Something came out because I was away from the phone. Couple of things. Try to report it to you guys. Couple of weeks ago, I organized a group of volunteer. I initiated the community cleanup projects. We started from Wayne Avenue and Broadway. So we will hopefully we will do 2 weeks, like one time 2 weeks. We started to clean up couple of blocks every 2 weeks. So it's kind of like we I think the community I organize a group of youth to join in to clean out the blocks and the streets. And we a couple of our members raised the issue with the homeless on Winnie Avenue and Broadway right there, because I was aware of this issue like back in March and April. Of course, this group of people, they are human beings too. Just this group of people lost homes, lost jobs, lost the income. I even provide, lunches for them. I work with City Council Daniel Jerome and DHS and breaking ground for a couple of months. Since city not responding and they saying there's a limited resource, limited housing they can provide it to a group of people. I actually happen to reach out a couple of shelter and halfway house nearby, because since the COVID, with the the CDC guideline, they supposed to can fit putting in more people in the shelter. But there's a halfway house in 114th Street and 39th Avenue, I believe. They supposed to be fitting 100 more people in it, but since under the pandemic, they only can put it in 150 people in it. But I'm still in process working with elected officials office and DHS to looking for like spaces for them to live in. Hopefully, this issue will be solved. Like I was at the rally in Flushing Meadow with the halfway house in Flushing Meadow. Actually, I was there, but not to protest against the housing. I'm for housing, but the city putting 250 million in that location only. Because we were asking city, how much housing that we can build with 250 million. We can build a lot of housing there. So it's like, so I think it's not not a fair thing for rest of the people. We got like 50, 60, 70 people sleep on the street on Winnie Avenue and Broadway. Like every day we seeing these people every day. And that's about it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Let's see.
We're going to go back to the one we said maybe. Is that, are we still doing that or no? Okay. All right. And then we can move on to the next.
Dewan, you're unmuted.
Who's unmuted?
I just unmuted Dewan.
Wow, go ahead.
All right, that's it. Let's keep moving, Lou.
All right, we got to keep moving. Okay, the elected officials are next. Charles E. Schumer. Anyone there from his office? Called in?
No, sir.
Okay, Kristen Gillibrand. Okay, from her office or herself, okay. Grace Ming.
Hey, Lou. Hey, thank you, Lou. Thank you, everybody. Nothing major to report since it's our first meeting back. I can save some of the lengthier reports for next month and later. The only thing I would say is that the Congresswoman welcomes everyone back. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, if there's anything you need assistance with at all, feel free to call our office, call my work cell directly. I think I gave out my work cell on this forum before, but if you don't have it, it's 202-420-8819. Call me at any time, leave me a message. I'm happy to get back to you. And Alton, we can connect tomorrow and chat about the bank situation you were mentioning. Happy to go over that with you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or her representative. Anybody? This is no one, right? Christina, buddy?
No, I don't think so. Oh, yes, hold on. I just found that person. Give me 1 second. Okay, we have Mabel.
Hello, Mabel.
Mabel, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, members and leadership of Community Board 4. I hope you had a restful summer. Usually my colleague, Michelle Hernandez, is here. So this is my first one with you for this term. I'm a caseworker field representative from the office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. So the Congresswoman has spent the last 3 months in and out of DC as the House has continued to work on the next Corona relief package. Since my coworker Michelle was last here, the Congresswoman has hosted virtual town halls on police brutality, the census, and COVID relief. We also hosted an information session for Service Academy applicants with Representative Grace Meng. I do have a few legislative updates. In addition to the COVID relief work, our Congresswoman and the legislative team worked on a number of legislative priorities this summer. In July, the House was focused on the appropriations process. We had a number of amendments submitted that were passed, including a ban on the purchase of chemical weapons, as well as a series of amendments to protect public housing and eliminate the so-called opportunity zones. Along with Senator Kamala Harris, we introduced the Climate Equity Act. That is legislation to ensure that we center communities on the front line of the climate crisis. Next, we introduced legislation with Representative Nydia Velasquez for the Puerto Rico Self-Determination Act. This legislation would prompt Puerto Rico's legislature to create a status convention whose delegates will be elected by Puerto Rican voters. And the body would develop a long-term solution for Puerto Rico's status, whether it be statehood, independence, free association, or any other option other than the current territorial arrangement. In August, the House was called back into session to address the concerns around the United States Post Office and Postmaster DeJoy. The House passed the Nonpartisan Postmaster General Act to ensure that the positions of Postmaster General and Deputy Postmaster General are filled by qualified experts. Finally, the Congresswoman participated in the House Oversight Committee hearing with Postmaster DeJoy. She pressed him to release his detailed calendar to the committee and asked him to respond to our community's request for a disability ramp at the Jackson Heights Post Office. Finally, last two items, we still have the census. And right now we have Northern Corona coming in at 45.4, Corona at 46.2, and East Elmhurst at 52.5. So that means we still have a lot more of our communities to count. So please encourage your family members and your neighbors to complete the census. And as always, our office is available for assistance. Throughout the summer, our office has been celebrating our community members who have gone above and beyond to support our community. So I will be sharing some links where you can nominate neighbors or friends or family that you know that have been volunteering. We have also been honoring those who were lost to COVID-19. So you can also submit those names to our office. And as always, we're available to help with federal casework, and you can reach our office either on our website or by phone. So I'm available if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke, can we ask questions at this point or no?
Cannot. Nope, not yet. Nope, absolutely not. Never get the end of this meeting as it is. Marilena, you're still there, right? Calling on Marilena. She's still.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello? Yeah.
Before 9, I'm going to have to leave this meeting, so you will be chairing this meeting to its end.
Okay.
And Christian will have to help you with details of the agenda and whatever else you might need, but I'll continue until I can't continue any further, and then I'll say, please take over the meeting as I must go.
Okay.
Okay. Brian Barnwell, New York State Assembly. Anybody here from his office?
Yes, he is actually here. Give me 1 second.
Oh. Okay.
Assembly member, are you there?
Yes, how are you?
All right. How are you? Welcome.
Good. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys' efforts and your work, and I'm happy to be here. Usually I can't make it, so you're stuck with me for a little bit. But I want to thank you guys. I know you guys do a lot of good work around the community, and I know Christian and I have been talking a lot about illegal dumping in a lot of different locations. I know that's everywhere. I have a little bit of CB4, obviously, but other locations in the district due to DSNY cutting funds and cutting, obviously with budget cuts, they won't do anything. They won't add increased pickups. They won't add more waste baskets. So it's an ongoing battle. I have talked to them about legislation, about being more proactive with cameras, but according to them, even if they catch someone on camera illegally dumping, they can't give a ticket. So yeah, I know. A city council, I've talked to a couple of different council members. They said that something needs to be changed in the city charter to allow that. So that's something that maybe you guys keep in mind. It's something that I think like a good idea. At least the problem spots underneath Amtrak, underneath LIRR, underneath those locations might be a good idea. Graffiti, and again, I kind of just want to talk about a couple of different things I know other people mentioned. Graffiti is on the rise as well, and individuals who are homeless as well is a very difficult situation. But I wanted to touch a bit. I don't remember who said it, but they mentioned about housing being the issue, and I do think that's 100% accurate. I know you guys deal with this a lot as well, and you guys probably know this. But when developers build affordable housing in this city, they get the tax break. The tax break is based on a flawed formula. The AMI, you guys heard that word before. The AMI, it's basically the average income, obviously, of the area, for lack of better words. And because of this skewed formula, New York City gets to use the Westchester, upper richer neighborhoods, Putnam County, Rockland County, in the calculation of what is quote unquote deemed affordable when they build that project. So for example, a family of 3 under this formula is the average income level is like $95,000. So we all know, obviously, that in some of our districts, a family of 3 is the average income is not $95,000. So, I have legislation out there co-sponsored with Senator Gene Harris that would change that formula to make it zip code based. So, for example, if the average income is $50,000 for a zip code, that's what developers have to base their quote unquote affordability rate on. Obviously, it's been a lot of pushback from developers. Another thing is, I think you guys would like this one. It actually would give the community board binding power over the ULURP process. So for example, if a developer wants to offer units 60% or higher of AMI, which again, as you just talked about, the formula is already skewed for AMI, the community board would be able to say, nope, sorry, you guys are not working with us enough on, you know, helping with infrastructure, helping with the MTA, helping with schools, helping with the sewer system, helping with affordable housing. The community board have binding power to deny that application. So, I mean, listen, to be honest with you, you guys know this. I don't got to tell you this. The solutions are there. It's just that there's no political will at the top to make these decisions and implement them. But you know, I know again, I know I have a little bit of the district. You know, always open to whatever you guys need help with. Just let me know. Again, Christian and I have been talking a lot, but whatever you guys need help with, just let me know. And I want to help. I want to be there. I'll do whatever I can. You know, just let me know. Okay. And I thank you again for your work, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Michael Dendecker.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Jeffrey-Ann Aubrey. Representative?
No.
Jeff?
No.
Catalina Cruz, or a representative.
Hey, I'm on. Okay, so we will be reopening our office starting September 14th to in-person constituents. It's going to be by appointment only for anybody looking for help where we could help fill out with paperwork or anything else that needs in-person assistance. We continue to do any constituent work over the phone. That pretty much hasn't stopped since COVID started. Just know that when we take an appointment, all safety protocols are to be followed, such as wearing masks. Only the appointment holder can come in during the appointment time, and social distancing protocols. Next week, Friday and Saturday, September 18th and 19th, we'll be hosting a citizenship drive for anybody who's eligible. Obviously, you have to meet certain criteria, such as having a green card already, as well as having held that green card for a certain amount of time. You can call our office, 718-458-5367 to make an appointment. Holding a series of business walks in Elmhurst and Corona with the SBS Commissioner and Comptroller Stringer. The most recent one was held today. The other one was, I think, last week or the week before. And we've just been going around to small businesses and speaking to them about reopening and providing them guidelines of resources that are available to them. And then lastly, we have a number of pieces of legislation that are COVID specific, including one that would help tenants, commercial tenants, be able to, who've been impacted by COVID-19, be able to work with the landlords outside of court to mediate any issues that they're having, including potentially renegotiating their lease terms. So the Assemblywoman wishes everybody well and look forward to working further with you.
Thank you. New York State Senate, Michael Janaris.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Jessica Ramos.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't see nobody here from Jessica Ramos's office.
Okay. Toby Ann Stavisky.
Min Wen is here. No, Min Wen.
No, Min Wen's not here.
No, she's not here. No, moving on, Lou.
Okay. Office. Jessica
Jessica is here.
Yep.
Yeah, hold on.
Yep.
She just.
Yeah, I just saw her.
She just. and then she just left.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah, let's keep it moving, and we'll come back to Jessica if she comes in. But I legit, once I clicked her name, she just vanished. So it's just
Yeah.
like, all right,
Okay.
moving on.
Boyer. Council
Yes,
member.
the council member is
Boyer.
here.
Yes.
Councilman, you're unmuted.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone had a good summer, given the circumstances. I know it's been some very difficult times for a lot of us, but the one thing is we've actually been able to, maintain some close contact with one another, and I hope that you and your families are doing well. Wanted just to give a very quick update on certain things that I've been doing throughout the district. We've been seeing a lot of the services that have been cut due to the deficit in our city's budget. In particular, we've seen the overflow of garbage on the garbage cans throughout the district. It's created a big problem for us here. We've been struggling to manage this. I have now put in $160,000 to have twice a day pickups for this area right here in my district, so that we will not have the sites that we're seeing of overflowing garbage, and have sanitation actually pick up the garbage and make sure that we're keeping the community clean. I've also brought in the ACE program, which is a wonderful program that I've talked to you all about in previous meetings. They are out all along this area from Roosevelt Avenue to Corona Avenue to 111th Street. We have them on 104, 108. We have been spreading them out in as many problematic areas that we can find, and they clean every single day. So we want to keep making sure that our streets are clean. But a lot of this also goes into the fact that we have to educate our folks. A lot of the garbage that's being thrown out on the street corners are from private residences. And it's a major issue for us here. Hopefully this will help to alleviate that problem. Also, we've gotten a lot of the complaints about what is happening in our local parks. I have now added additional resources to help with the PEP officers that are the park enforcement agents that are now going to be patrolling our parks, ensuring that there are not people who are drinking alcohol in our parks. Our parks are meant for this community, families and children to enjoy, and not to be overtaken by people who aren't going to respect the quality of life issues that matter most to us. I'm actually bringing a base that's going to be operating actually out of Park of the Americas. I've been talking with the Queens Parks Commissioner about how we can have that so that they can go and deploy to make sure that they're giving out face masks, that there are no open containers there, and just keeping our parks clean and safe so everyone can enjoy, which I think is extremely important for us as well. And then also the big piece of legislation that I passed, I talked about this right before the break. We have been working to help promote a lot of the local businesses, especially our restaurants. The legislation that I've passed is against the third-party apps. So as you know, if you're home and you have your smartphone, you can order through Grubhub your dinner, your lunch. But what they are doing is they have been hurting our small businesses. They have been charging up to 30% of the cost to these mom and pop restaurants in the area for services that they don't even provide. They're charging them for delivery service. They're charging them for credit card fees. They're even charging them for the phone calls that go to their restaurant through their website. This will now cap it so that they can no longer charge them 30%. It's capped at 15%, 5% for delivery services that they give, and 10% for other services that they are providing in terms of advertisement and promotion, et cetera. They cannot exceed that, and they cannot charge for services that they are not rendering. This has a tremendous impact on our small businesses and on our local restaurants. And it's a good segue into what I've been doing to help promote our local restaurants. And we've seen that there's been a high need when there has been such food shortages in our community. I fund 7 pantries in the district. I go to most of them throughout the week. You've seen the lines of people in our community, that families that are going hungry. I partnered up by providing funding with Hispanic Federation to hire 5 local restaurants in the district to actually prepare 500 meals throughout the week to feed families in the community. And my idea has been, we're helping our local businesses who are struggling right now, and then we're helping the families that actually live here. And it has worked very well. We're going to continue to do this into late October. That's how much the funding gets me. We do it 3 days out of the week. And it's really been a wonderful opportunity and an idea that I had to ensure that we are really promoting our local restaurants, feeding our families, and taking care of our communities, which is so critical during this time. With that, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know that there's a healthy agenda, and I just wanted to, again, thank you all for all that you do. Thank you to Lou. Thank you, Christian, as well, for the tremendous work that you guys have been doing throughout COVID. I know you had mentioned the 20,000 that I've also allocated for the community board. It is through the chair and your district manager's advocacy that has really led the way when we have had such severe budget cuts throughout the area. We have been dealing with a $9 billion deficit. You know how important the community boards are to me. This is why I try not to miss any one of these meetings, because I know how much you're giving back, and I want you to know that I'm here to help and support you in whatever way I can. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and have a very good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Moya.
Thank you, Councilmember. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Danny Drum, or his representative.
Yes, Kelly is here. Give me 1 second. Kelly, you're unmuted.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly from Councilmember Daniel's office. I hope everyone have a great summer. And the councilmember sent his regards to everyone, and he hopes everyone are doing well. Not too much.
We hear you broken up, but I don't know about anybody. A little better, yes.
Kelly, you're breaking up pretty badly. That's pretty bad. Sorry about that.
Maybe we can come back to you.
Yeah, we can come back. We can double back, Lou. Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you because, yeah, maybe it'll be better later on.
No.
No, we still getting you very.
Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Jessica from the mayor's office is here now.
Hi, folks. The mayor's been advocating for the federal government to provide a stimulus and for the state to provide long-term borrowing authority to address the budget gap that Councilmember Moya mentioned. We've been working with labor unions to try to prevent the layoff of 22,000 city workers and hope that either a stimulus or a long-term borrowing authority would help us to address some of the budget cuts that have trickled down to the community level. We've been working on expanding the test and trace core so that folks have awareness of resources that the city has to stop the spread of COVID-19 in New York City. If anybody who is part of a community organization would like to partner for either a presentation from the team or for distribution of palm cards, we have them in multiple languages. We're willing to work with you guys to set up these kinds of outreach events. We encourage all New Yorkers to get a COVID-19 test, to find a test site, including mobile testing sites, which we're rotating every week. Please go to nyc.gov/COVID test. We're concerned about the census response rate, especially, within our pocket communities where there are a lot of immigrant communities. Please encourage your neighbors, your friends, your family to go to my2020census.gov. Please just bring it up organically in as many conversations as you can. We only have through the end of this month to address that. We are really happy that more than 10,000 restaurants have participated in the Outdoor Dining Initiative Open Restaurants. In just over 3 months, this program has saved an estimated 90,000 jobs across the 5 boroughs. The mayor has said that by the end of this month, there will be a determination made regarding indoor dining. New York City Care launched in Queens on September 1st. This will address some of the healthcare disparities that we've witnessed with the COVID-19 pandemic. New members will receive a primary care appointment within 2 weeks, a membership card, access to language interpretation services, expanded pharmacy hours within the health and hospital system, and a 24/7 customer assistance line. Those who are eligible and want to enroll in the program should call 646 NYC Care or go to nyccare.nyc. And lastly, today, educators return to school to start collaborating on preparing for the school year. On September 16th, schools will begin engaging students in learning and orienting them to the new school year prior to the first in-person day on September 21st. They will use this remote launch to encourage students in health and safety procedures and talk to students about connectivity for remote learning, wellness, and social emotional health heading into an unprecedented school year, and to ensure students are ready to learn. We are still distributing iPads if there are students that need them, if maybe they had technology in the spring that no longer works. So if anybody has any of those cases where a student needs devices, please feel free to reach out. The city's plan for reopening schools is the strongest in the country and among the most rigorous in the world, with blended learning, socially distanced classrooms, mandatory masks, widely available testing, and contact tracing. The city will only open schools if transmission stays below 3%. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Now, no, they cannot, but thank
No.
you for offering.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sharon Lee, Borough President of Queens, or anyone from her office.
Yeah, Joe is on.
Okay, Joe.
Joe, you're unmuted.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to see all of you. The Borough President sends her regards and thanks you for your excellent service throughout this unprecedented times, to say the least. A couple of quick items, if I may. Coattailing on everybody's comments, Jessica's most recently about the census. The Borough President is aggressively working on this, inclusive of 3 days a week for the last 2 weeks. We have pop-up census booths at 6 libraries, and 2 are in your vicinity: East Helmhurst Library and Jackson Heights Library. So that's been going on for 2 weeks, pushing into a third week, and it's 6 different libraries. And we've signed up a lot of people, pulling them off the street. So the group has been great. The 8th installment of the very successful Borough Hall Job Recruitment Fair will be Wednesday, September 16th at 2 p.m. You go to the Borough President's website and you can link into that. And it is becoming very successful. Last but not least, and I will send this to Christian tomorrow, free Wednesday night drive-in movies at the Hall of Science. Every Wednesday, I think tomorrow is Wally. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Anyway, so I will send the list. It's every Wednesday. It's free, first come, first serve, drive-in only. So you have to go to the website to sign in. The Hall of Science is also has other nights that they're showing drive-in movies. That one you have to pay for by the car. I don't know the price, but certainly the Wednesday ones are. Thank you to Borough President Sharon Lee. I thank you all. I miss you all, and I hope October will see you. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Joe. Next, Scott Springer or someone from his office. And after that, we have Jamani Williams, and then you can go back to Danny Drum's representative. But I have to go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice evening. I just want to remind everybody.
Okay, good evening, you know.
If you want to be on the nominating committee, please call the office at the ending in 42 number and let them know that you are interested in being on that committee. The number is 718-760-3142. Not 41 as it is in all the documents, 42. If you're interested. And beyond that, you will be receiving information in the mail as I mentioned earlier. Thank you for your time and continue the meeting, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so from the controller's office, we have James Mangeluso. Give me 1 second. Okay, James, you're unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, hi, so this is James Mangeluso from the Comptroller's Office, New York City Comptroller's Office, and I have a few announcements. First, I want to mention the storm that we had, intense storm with many trees going down, also even some light posts going down in some areas. I want you to know that if you wish to file a claim against the city for damage to your property, whether it be a car, a fence, your home, the physical building itself, you can do so within 90 days of the incident. So if a Parks Department tree that's on the sidewalk, damaged your car, you are able to file a claim. This does not mean that you will receive any compensation whatsoever, but depending on the circumstances, you may be able to. The cases in which a tree has fallen or a light pole has fallen or some other city property has fallen and damaged your property, the cases in which there was a previous report of damage to the tree or to the light pole that suggested they were structurally deficient, those cases such as those are probably more likely to result in you getting compensation. So if you can prove that you called 311, complained about a tree, and then it fell, that's the type of information you want to put in your claim report. So if you want more information about that, please go to our website. I'll also put it into the chat. I'll put some links there that will guide you on how to file electronically and also how to file by mail. Additionally, the Comptroller's Office has been monitoring the situation with the sanitation department and the lack of clean streets in certain areas, especially in commercial corridors. I've definitely noticed a lot of overflowing bins, as Councilman Moya already mentioned. We asked the sanitation department to come up with a plan on how to efficiently deal with the situation given the budget cuts we are in charge of auditing and investigating all mayoral agencies, including the sanitation department. So we're very interested in making sure that the services are working for all the residents. We put out a letter and asked the sanitation department to consider a few different ideas that our policy team came up with. So I can put that into the chat too if you want to take a look at it. We also just put out a new policy proposal. Well, actually not so new, but it was in August, about ways to save our commercial corridors, basically the main streets of our communities, places like Woodside Avenue, parts of 108th Street, parts of Corona Avenue, those type of places where there's a lot of small businesses. Put out a policy proposal on how to best help those businesses in those areas to survive during the pandemic. So you can check that out too. I'll put that into the chat. And the most recent policy proposal we put out was to encourage biking in the city. So we realized that many parents, roughly 58% of parents in New York City have parents of kids under 18 have cars. So we suspect that many parents will be driving their children to school because they don't want their kids to be on the buses and the subways. They probably see it as a more risky place for possibly catching COVID-19. So we do anticipate more traffic in the coming months, especially once school has the in-person component. So we'd like for students, especially high school students, to bike to school if possible, especially if they live near to the school, because we think this will alleviate some of the pressure on the the cars on the road and the traffic conditions. So you can check out that policy proposal too. It's more than that. It also involves teaching kids bike safety and encouraging bike usage, including giving bicycles to students who whose parents meet certain income thresholds. So you can look at it in detail. I'll put that into the chat as well. And that's all. So please reach out to me. I put my info in there. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. Do we have anyone from, I think you said, from Danny Drum's office? Is Kelly Wu gonna go back on, or?
Yeah, I'll try Kelly right now. Kelly, are you there? Kelly?
I believe you're supposed to put on public advocate's office as well.
Yeah, that's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Kelly, we can hear you good.
Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was mentioned about the tax exile. It has been extended to September 24. Also, our office, immigration, legal connect is starting in the next 2 weeks, like September 23rd. It'll be twice a month. And anyone who needs legal help, please call our office and schedule an appointment. And then for general current, it's about the same time to start. Yeah. So basically, that's it from our office. Our offices continue to work remotely. If everyone have any question or need help with anything, just feel free to call our office and leave a voice message. Someone from our office will get back to you as soon as possible. And our office phone number is 718-803-6373. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
So I believe next up is Public Advocate Jamani Williams. Anyone from his office here?
Hold on, Marilyn. We're checking now. Chris, I don't see anybody. You? Is it Zachariah usually?
Yeah, it's usually Zachariah. I'm not seeing anybody.
No, we're not seeing anybody, Marilyn. No, let's keep it going.
Okay, so is the last one District Attorney Office of Melinda Katz?
Yes, Corey is on the line.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right, Corey, you're unmuted.
All right, thank you, everybody. My name is Corey Adams. I'm from District Attorney Melinda Katz's office. just wanted to let everybody know that we are available if you ever need anything. You can email me at cjadams@queensda.org. And I've taken notes on everything you've mentioned during this meeting. So if there's anything that our office can help with, we'll definitely be getting back to you and seeing what we can do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Corey.
I think that basically wraps up the reports from elected officials. So we're now going to be going on to the committee reports. The first committee would be the Census Committee. And I believe that's
Kristen Gonzalez.
Is she still there?
No, I mean, if she's not, she did tell me earlier that she was going through technical difficulties. She'd be in and out. So we've already announced everything that was with the census. We have 2 events coming up. One is on the 18th. The other one's on the 27th. Once I get the solid information, you guys will all receive it. And that's it. That's just, the numbers are really low, guys.
Okay. The next committee, Consumer Affairs.
I have nothing to report at this time. I'm going to be setting up a meeting sometime in the next month or two to kind of brainstorm ideas of how to revitalize the neighborhood after COVID hit.
Alex. And the next committee, Environmental.
Give us a second.
Okay.
Oscar, you're unmuted.
Oscar, you're good to go, man. We hear you.
No problem. Yeah, I don't have not much to report. I'm hoping to have a meeting hopefully by next month. So as of right now, I have not much to say. Thank you.
Thank you. The next committee report, Health Committee.
Ashley, you are unmuted.
Hi, good evening. We have not met since pre-COVID back in February, but I do hope to meet soon once we get our new members acclimated. I know individually, I know everyone on the committee has been very active, throughout the summer, doing their own local community events. So I hope to reconvene either sometime later this month or early next month.
Thank you, Ashley. The next committee, Parks Committee.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So obviously a lot of the parks issues have already been mentioned regarding the trash. I'm glad that elected officials are working on that issue. I think it's something that needs constant pressure. I think, the revisiting of the whole dog issue, with providing the resources is something we need to continue to advocate for, and I will continue to advocate as I've done in years past. Just to cite a personal example, we saw the same thing happening on the block in front of my co-op. The board president of my co-op, we basically said, okay, what does it cost to put one of these on the street? And we made it happen, so like people have said earlier in the evening, you see the problem, you go and fix it. That's the same way I approach the parks issues as well. Regarding Flushing Meadows Corona Park, there obviously is a dire need for more education also around social distancing. I know a lot of parks, including Flushing Meadows, are experiencing large parties and all sorts of things that obviously are creating more of the larger amounts of trash, in addition to obviously the illegal dumping and the other things. I will say from the smaller park standpoint, since I take Austin to a lot of those parks, there also needs to be education and setting the example from the parents. I see a lot of parents not wearing masks. I totally understand that, the younger children, it's hard to get them to wear a mask. Believe me, I'm dealing with that myself. But the parents, there's really no excuse. We know the science behind it. We know, how much it, prevents the virus from spreading. So parents need to do that. The other thing, I want to comment on with regard to that is, the stewardship opportunities that are there. A lot of organizations have talked about the volunteer efforts. I think there needs to be more education around the people that are leaving the garbage, and instead of fining them or instead of, doing something monetarily, I think there needs to be, the disincentive for what they're doing, but the incentive for them to help in, cleaning up the park and fixing things. So mainly brainstorming ideas, but obviously, we'll continue to push to beautify our parks because they're so vital during this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Gregory.
Thank you, Gregory.
So the next committee report, transportation.
Hi, good evening, everyone. The transportation has nothing to report. We will look to schedule a meeting sometime in the next month or so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
The next committee, Public Safety Committee. Lucy, are you there?
Yes,
Oh, yes.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Okay, first, let me just say this. Our committee, as you know, is 12 months a year, and there's no breaks. So I want to give a kudos to Clara Salas, Gurdeep Singh, Dewan Tarek, Georgina Oliver, and Ruby Muhammad for being very steadfast on this committee. And it helps a lot.
Lucy, and to you, Lucy. It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll start with CERT. Wasn't going to talk about this, but I am briefly. CERT does a lot with the homeless. We do a lot in January when we go out to see those that are out in the snow and the cold. We also have taught some of our members to do Thrive, which is a way of talking to the homeless to try to reach out to them to come out of their element of working, under a tree or staying under living under the parks, to try to get them to go to the shelters. So, and we also do documentation. I just wanted to throw that in. Also, this month is National Preparedness Month. Since we can't go out to give out pamphlets, we're asking everybody to go to nyc.gov, Ready New York, or NYCEM, Ready New York. There's a load of things you can get there in any language. So please get that out to your people. We're still at distributing sites, mostly in Flushing. That's starting to narrow down, being that more and more people are going to work. There'll be less boxes to send out to Queens and to Manhattan. So I have a feeling they'll be shutting those down very soon. Fire department, one thing that they're noticing, being that more people are home and cooking, they're forgetting to turn off their stoves. They just leave it. And we've had some kitchen fires. So that seems to be a #1 issue here, especially in Elmhurst. Police report, yeah, it's very big. Police report. Let me start with the crime stats. Everything came down, and we only had 0 murders, but we did have grand larceny that rose very well. From 5 from last year, we have 18. So grand larceny auto is very, very big in our community at this point. So telling people, don't leave your keys, don't leave anything in the car. And so they're asking us to get that out to everyone, especially now with COVID. Many people are driving more than they are taking public transportation. They're buying more vehicles. We only had 1 shooting a few months ago. Luckily, nobody got killed, but it's still under investigation. We've been asking about shooting, being that guns have been a big issue in the news. Homeless. Now we'll get into the homeless. We talked about temp encampments throughout Broadway, Whitney, and throughout mostly the Elmhurst area. The 110 did do a sweep a week ago near Whitney and the stores closest to the Long Island Railroad. They did hit Whitney and Broadway, but as soon as they get them into Breaking Grounds and all these not-for-profit agencies to help, they don't stay long. They come out and go back to that location. This has been an issue that's going to keep growing. So we're trying to find another way in which to handle the situation. They are looking for extra help. What we're noticing, Breaking Ground in many places that take on the homeless, they're overwhelmed. They just don't know how much more they can do. We're actually busting at the seams. I made a suggestion that I did a few years ago. I worked on and off with homeless throughout the year. Many of them want to be helped, many of them don't. If we can reach out to their families who want these loved ones back into their life, and we can give them the help they need to help their loved ones that keep going out. There's mental issues here too, as you well know. I think we can get most of this population down. So it's a suggestion I'm making to some churches and to some non-for-profits. I think we'll get somewhere. Another question that came up from Dewan was that there are more homeless in Elmhurst than Corona. Dewan hit on a very, very important subject here, because this is where they get the most complaints. The author says, this is only his opinion, Elmhurst has more underground trains. So when it rains, they go down there. If it's cold, they go down there. Corona doesn't have it. So that makes sense why we would get that large population. They can also go into Manhattan and then come back. So that is another way that I know that CERT has gone underground to talk to them on these issues. So it's really an endless kind of problem. Quality of life, noise complaints. We're finding out people are doing Zumba in parks. One of them in the Veterans Park. They're blasting the music so loud that the house is vibrating. Outdoor restaurants are blasting their music loud. We've been asking the 110 to go over and tell them just to lower it, because people now are going back to work and kids are going back to school. They said they would look into it. We also talked about men drinking and taking alcohol and smoking pots on certain locations. One of them was 108th Street and Corona Avenue, and the next location was Junction Boulevard and 41st Avenue. They're going to send the NCO officers down there. Talking about 111th Street from the Long Island Railroad, which is at 43rd and down to 41st, we're finding out there are vendors that are selling food that are not licensed, but most importantly, they're selling liquor out of serving cups. That's another issue we have. Graffiti. We talked about this as another ongoing thing. I'm very happy that, Christian, you're doing what you're doing. We also mentioned about getting college students and maybe arts and businesses to help with the maintenance of these walls. They constantly get graffiti. That could be one way of getting it. Clara talked about giving awards out to those who do beautiful murals. Maybe we can add that to what you were stating before. I personally feel it's time for a reward, up to $500 for those that can see this crime taking place. Because I have one area of Junction, which the murals stay beautiful, which is the west side. But if you go to the east side, it's always graffitied. For some reason, that one we can never keep the mural up. So it might be something to think about, giving a reward to those that they find doing or committing the crime of graffiti. And then we can go now to the liquor licenses. These were all renewals. Every liquor license that came to us, this is 7516 Broadway. They came, they answered our questions about noise complaints, harassment. Most of it, he feels, is from the neighboring, again, as we were talking about neighboring stores. Another was Pebble Club. We talked about a noise complaint from his place and assaults. He's going to talk to his managers that take over, or his security guards, about trying to test these people before they come in. If they feel they're too alcoholic, they have too much alcohol in them, he will try to keep them out of his location. Cheesecake Factory had one grand larceny. They're trying to find the owner who was robbed of his wallet. And as of today, they can't find it. But all of them came to the meeting. They answered all our questions, and we were very proud with that. So that's my committee. So I thank you all. I'll see you next month.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
Okay.
Next committee, ULURP committee. Alton?
Hi, Marilena.
How are you?
Okay, it's good seeing you. Yes. As you know, we haven't met, but we have an application, MIH application. It's a resubmitted application. It's the one for 111th Street, across from Flushing Mellow Park. I think we had that back in April of this year.
Might have been earlier, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So they did go before Queensborough Hall, and it seems like the issues that they're looking at is the community room versus the dialysis room, and I'm not sure of the complete, but we should be getting that in the next 30 days. So we should be holding committee meeting regarding that application. And I spoke earlier about the banking situation in Corona Elmhurst area. I just want to correct a few things that I said. I had said Community Reinvestment Act was under Obama, but the Community Reinvestment Act was enacted in 1977, so it wasn't under Obama. And it's just, I said points with CRA rating skills. And the reason why it was created in the first place is to link credit, housing, banking with affordability. So it becomes a housing issue. And on that note, I think I conclude.
Okay, thank you so much, Alton.
Thank you all.
So the last committee, youth committee?
No, she's not. She's not here, but I don't, there's not much to report on the youth committee. We did have some discussion, I know, given to us, right, like Councilman Drum, last year for this year's youth fair, but obviously we won't be doing it. So that money is gonna be moved elsewhere and we'll just work around it, but, hopefully it'll be something youth related.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that. So the last session is the open session for the community board members for any comments. This is the final session that we can all speak. Unfortunately, I do not have the list alphabetically of everyone's names. So I don't know, Christian, that you could take over that, or Christina.
Yeah, I can.
I wouldn't mind taking it, but I'm sorry I don't have it.
Don't even worry about it. Christina, is this something you can handle on your side? I mean, I can.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah? Yeah, okay. I mean, I have them all here. I'm ready to go, but yeah, if you can just call them one by one and unmute them as you go, it's probably easier for you anyway, so.
Yeah, I got it.
So to be very clear to, I know we have some new board members, and board members, the rest of you, we don't normally enforce this, but one of the part of the agenda is you guys get to get a second comment period to comment anything you see about tonight. So we're gonna blaze through everybody's name really quickly. We'll unmute you, say your goodbyes, whatever issues you have. And just please remember, guys, that everything that was discussed tonight will be sent to you tomorrow. Christina does an amazing job of sending you all these links, all the inserts, so it will all make sense tomorrow once we discuss that. Go ahead. Thanks, Chris.
No problem. Okay, so first up is going to be Lucy Cerezo Scully. Lucy, you're unmuted. Lucy?
No, that's it. Keep it moving. Next.
Okay, so next up is Mr. Chan.
Oh,
Mr. Chan, you're unmuted.
yes, I remembered once we're talking about the city budget. They have $88 billion for the seniors, youth, also the employees' salary, and something else forgot. But the Mr. Silver Red, he needs some help financially. I think why don't he go to ask for city for help? It seemed to me a lot of money. Even the homeless, we give 3.2 billion. I mentioned that before, right? You remember? We got 58,000 homeless people, but we got $3.2 billion, a lot of money. So you see, if financial some problem, go back to city, ask them. Why not?
Noted. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chan.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see Andy any longer on the list. So next up will be David Chung. David, you're unmuted.
Nothing to say here. Glad everything's kind of coming back. I'm looking forward to working with everyone again. Be well, everyone.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Linda Corral. Linda, you're unmuted.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, and Lorena Diaz.
Nothing to say. Thank you.
Okay. Michelle Dunstan.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Have a good night. I did want to say that Councilman Moya and the Sanitation Department did team up with the merchants on 57th Avenue and had them adopt the trash baskets. And so they would change the basket to a green bag. So I thought that was a great thing, and I thank them. And you all have a good night, and welcome to all the new board members. Good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. You rock.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Ari Espinal.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to welcome the new members. I forgot to do that at the beginning. So welcome to CB4, and I'm wishing everybody a good night.
Thank you, Ari.
Thank you. Okay, Maria Elena, do you have anything?
No, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for such a wonderful meeting. Glad that we're back, and see you next month. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. All right, Kristen is not here. Vinny left. No, James Lisa. Is Carol here? No, Carol.
No, Carol's done.
Okay. Sunil.
Yes, looking forward to meet you guys in the coming days. For right now, have a good evening, have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Pat Martin. Pat, are you there?
Pat?
Pat?
No, I guess not. I could swear I heard some noise, but no. Moving on, Chris. Next.
So, okay, so next up is Matt McElroy.
Hey,
Matt, you
guys.
there?
Oh,
You're good to go. No, Matt. No, now you wait. You were actually unmuted. You muted yourself. Do it one more time. There you go.
you can hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood the color coding. I don't have anything to say. Nice to see everybody's face. Nice to hear everybody's voice. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, let's see. No Edgar, no Ruby. Okay, Sandra Munoz.
Yes, just thank you to all who addressed the issues that our community is facing. And, I think that as a board, it's not about complaining. And I agree, someone had mentioned, I think it was Gregory, it is about getting solutions. So we have to acknowledge the problem and then find a solution. So we're all here ready to work, and I'm glad that September's here. I'm glad that we're all here. Welcome to the new members, and hope to see you next month. Just stay safe, everybody.
Thank you, Sandra. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Gerda. Gerda?
Yes, I'm here. So I just let me.
Gerda?
Can you listen to me?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, I want to say hello to everybody, and we're going to see in the next month, and hope we resolve the problem of the homeless people, which is very important, and also is also very important now the flu season is coming. Everybody should get a flu vaccine from the CVS or the Walgreens, because they are doing also instead. So you cannot go to the hospital or the doctor. The CVS and Walgreens, they will give the injection, and you must take it before the season start. Otherwise, sometimes you can get more problems. Try to avoid the problem. Have a nice day, and everybody say hello to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Gerda. All right, next is Alex Owens.
Nothing to say. It was good seeing all of you. I'll talk to you guys in another month or so.
You will. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. All right, next up is Ashley Reed. Ashley?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for such a wonderful meeting. It was good to see everyone. And I just wanted to encourage everyone to take advantage of free COVID testing if you haven't already, and continue to stay safe and have a good night.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, next is Oscar Rios.
Yes, I'm here. Not much to say. Just guys, just be safe, and hopefully I could see you guys soon, and have an awesome night. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Oscar.
Oscar. Okay, next is Christian Romero.
Hey everyone, nothing from me. I hope everyone has a good night. Everyone stays healthy and well. Thanks.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you. All right, next is Clara Salas.
Hi everyone. All I want to say is that I look forward to working with the board again one more year, and let's hope that we can help solve all the problems that we have today. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do, Clara.
Okay, next is Lucy Scalero.
My best to all of you. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lucy.
Good night, Lucy.
Yes?
Okay, next is Red Sevilla.
Thanks, Christina. I wanted to ask this earlier, and Christian, maybe you answered it already, but if maybe somebody could just dumb it down for me. I think we're aware of the problem with the census. But what is it, dummy like me, what can I do if I wanted to, like, what's something I can do tomorrow?
You know what, so Red, that's a tough one. Like, look, I'll tell you one thing. By tomorrow, I'll tell you this, but on our side, you're gonna get two pieces of literature from us. The first one is this whole form that I'll be somewhat speaking at on the 18th. You'll get that information. But the other one is a much larger, it's a little bit more of a robust, everybody comes to join the census. However, and this goes for everybody in this board. Every community board, for the most part, was assigned a census representative who would work with us to do any workshops, panels, public events. So if anybody on the board ready, we set up a small census event, and that could be as simple as setting up a table in front of your business. Just a small public workshop, maybe even virtual meetings. We have the capability of doing that. And the census folks are, I'm not going to say sitting around twiddling their thumbs, but they are at the cusp of the end now, where they're asking us, what can you do to spread the word more? So we have the resources, we have the means, we have the literature, I guess, for the most part, and we have the forum coming up on the 18th, plus the big final workshop / big event that everybody's going to get involved with on the 27th. Short term, yes, the moment this meeting ends, I will gladly put you in contact with our census folks, and maybe we can coordinate something and just CC me on us. Look, we get you guys to set up a table in front of our school, in front of our business for an hour or two to get more word out there. But yeah, that's it, Red. You know, our numbers are way too low. They're just way too low.
I mean, is there value for me to going door to door to my building and saying, have you filled out the census? Is that done? Is that?
Look, yes, of course. Of course. I'm not telling you to go. I mean, these times it's very hard for you to walk every single place in the building. If we can get a better means, like one big, huge loudspeaker outside the building, everybody please fill out, of course. But yeah, of course, that's not a bad idea. I just don't want to be like over like that. But absolutely, and we should all be doing it. Sure.
And also, the census workers are actually out right now, and they are doing door to door. However, you could definitely encourage your neighbors to answer the door when the census workers are there.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this much: this workshop that I'm going to be doing in a couple of days, I'm going to the assumption that it's going to be televised. And you know what? One thing I want to answer really quickly, Chris, our Instagram. We have an Instagram. I forgot to announce this earlier. So we're going to be using Instagram as another means of communication, Reg, and everybody else. And Chris, you can give me the handle afterwards. But we now have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So this video and this small panel that I'm going to be speaking of, I'm going to give it to you right now, Gregory. Give me a second because I want to spell it out properly. Yeah, we can take this video, this workshop, and we can maybe post it online. And if we get some good substantial information from me, the census rep, and whoever's at that panel, it's just more word to get it out there. So, and give us, granted, this is on the 18th, and we haven't seen it in a month, so it gives like a 2-week headway to really emphasize what's discussed at the panel.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. And just for everybody who cannot see it, it's at CB4 Queens, our IG handle. At CB4 Queens, and that's the number 4. CB, the number 4 Queens spelled out. Thank you.
All right. So next is Alton. All right, Alton, you're unmuted.
All right. Stay safe, everyone, and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Alton.
Thank you. Thank you, Alton.
Okay, next up is Gregory.
I don't have anything to report. It's great to see everyone's faces, of those of you that I can see, and look forward to a good year. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, and that is it. No one else is on. Lucy Cerezo Scully, do you want to try again?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yay! Yeah, I had to switch to my phone. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I did want to also welcome the new board members. I was lucky to meet 2 of them when we were doing some face mask giveaways. So hi guys, and hi everyone else who's new to us. And also wanted to add that I have actually been having book swaps monthly. I started in July. It's been going very well. I'm just giving away books. People give me books and then I give them away. I've been doing it near Newtown High School the first time, and the second time I did it in front of my dad's barbershop on 92nd and Corona Avenue. And just follow up on what Kristen just said. Yeah, I would love to have census stuff going on there. People are in and out of the barber shop. It's a busy area. So I think that would be wonderful. But I did want to really note on the book swap that's been going really well. And if people want to get in contact with me on how to give me books, donate books, or come and help out one day, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. And have a
Lucy,
great
I'm not even going to evade your statement. The truth is, yes, you have been, guys. Lucy has been very, very on my back to get us at this table, and I admit that it's somewhat difficult to reach lately. I have no phone. It's been hard, but Lucy, you have been trying. But we will be getting a census table very soon. I'll have an email ready to go with you and Red. Anybody else who's interested in the census stuff, we can do one last 3-week hurrah. So, thank you, Lucy.
Yes. So my book swap might I'm in between dates, either the 20th, which is I always do it on Sunday. So either the 20th or the 27th. I usually post on Facebook, but I can always send an email to Christian with the flyer if anyone's interested.
Yep. I have a meeting tomorrow with Kristen around noon. We're going to discuss all this, see where we go, and then I'll reach out to, I mean, at this point, we'll reach out to the entire board, let you guys know where we are with it, and if we can use any help, any volunteers, yeah. So you can expect that email from us tomorrow, sometime in the mid-afternoon, maybe 1, 2 o'clock.
And Lucy, please send it to me as well.
Who's that? Who am I sending?
Christina.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So, Christian, I think we're ready to adjourn, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's everybody, yeah, we're good to go.
So I know we ran over today, super late. I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us, and hopefully see everyone next October for the meeting. And I think we will be doing it online as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
More than likely we're doing it online. Yep. So just the last reminder, guys, is please, again, to the new board members in particular, this is not the way you normally operate. You may feel a little frazzled. Do not hesitate to call the office if you have questions about your committee, about how we function. You know, we move forward with our board meeting as if you guys weren't here and just proceeded without kind of going slow. This is not normal, but please reach out to the office. We're all very knowledgeable. Margaret's there, Christina's there, I'm there. But please, your committees, choose your committee so we can get you guys on the committee right away and get started on that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, so we adjourn, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you in October.
Good night, everyone.
Rocks.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone, bye-bye.